LSU versus the world. LSU versus the world. Is that what is going on right now? Because that is what it feels like. Does it not? Does it not feel like LSU versus the actual world? Even though all these other schools are doing the same shit we are. Even though all these schools follow our lead with a lot of this, has it not felt all season like it is LSU versus the world? I should say all offseason, like it's LSU versus the world. Feels like it to me, man. This has been an insane offseason, but it only gets crazier because you and I, with our, typical thoughts of how things should work, would say, the rosters are set. There's, 12, 10 days, whatever it is, left until LSU faces off against Clemson. There will be college football this weekend. And no, rosters are not set. No. Nothing is ironed out 100%. You are now having everyone from Texas to LSU to Ohio State, all of these different programs, South Carolina, looking into it and pulling the trigger and bringing guys who were waived from NFL squads. Mostly, usually undrafted free agents. No team is going to release or waive a draft pick this soon. So we're talking about, UDFAs, right? But this is unbelievable that you are now having college programs going and getting these guys. We talked about this, that this was going to happen. We said, keep your eyes on these former Ole Miss guys. One of those guys' names was Daquan Wright. He was the first. One of those other guys' names was Xavion Harrison. Everyone said, oh, he hates Kiffin. Oh, we said this about Kiffin. Oh, he said he didn't like how Kiffin did this. Oh, he said this about... Well, guess what? Time and Benjamins heals all wounds, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It started off with Daquan Wright. Daquan. This is a tight end where, his ability to block and understand and grasp Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss's scheme is why he's needed. It's why his pull was necessary. Because you got Malachi Thomas as like that strong blocking tight end, inline tight end, and then of course you have the freak Trey'Dez Green out wide more often or in the slot catching passes. He can also be inline and block a little bit, but he's not a pure traditional beefy tight end. Daquan Wright is, and he's played for a long time under Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss. They know the system. He had 39 catches, 5 touchdowns, and over 630 yards just last season. Even scored a touchdown in the semifinal game against Miami. This is a dude who's going to be strong in the blocking and running game puzzle here. He really helps LSU put that blocking, rushing attack, all that puzzle together. And here's the thing. You're wondering, well, how is he going to have time to fit into the squad? How is he going to have time? It doesn't really matter. He only needs time to really figure out his place in the team and the guys around him. He already knows the playbook. He already knows exactly how this offense is run. He already knows exactly what is expected of him on every single play. This guy could actually end up getting more playing time than Malachi Thomas, if you actually think about it, because I wouldn't be shocked if that was the result. So you add Daquan Wright, who at 635 yards, 39 catches, a lot of usage for a tight end, 5 touchdown catches, including one in a college football playoff semifinal last year. That's a guy you're adding to your roster. Oh, sorry, actually, next up was Junior Tuihalamaka from Notre Dame. And Junior Tuihalamaka, this dude, more of a rotational guy, right? More of a rotational defensive end. But he's exactly what LSU needed. He's stout against the run. He's an adequate enough pass rusher. But he's a dude who's comfortable in big moments, in big games. This guy, played in the college football playoff national championship game against Ohio State just in January 2025. 61 total tackles, 9 TFLs, 4 sacks, 2 batted passes, 2 fumble recoveries, and an interception. Okay. Huge plus added to the team. When you're thinking about a guy like Jack Pyburn, probably going to make the Tampa Bay roster, 3 tackles, 1 solo against the Chiefs as well. Had a lot of pressures in that game too. It looks like he might be a really going to be staying with the Buccaneers. So you have to go after who is available. And actually, Junior, his transition from the NFL to LSU is actually a lot smoother because he was already dismissed from teams. He was the Eagles signed him, I believe it was, and then I can't remember who the hell it was, but dismissed him from the team. Waived him, released him. This guy has been available for a bit here, and LSU have been looking at him for a while here. So you add some depth, you add some strength there. 9 TFLs as a defensive end, 5.5 sacks. And then this guy's the one I'm most excited about today. Just broke just a bit ago. Xavier Harris, former Ole Miss defensive tackle. Okay. Xavier Harris played 4 years under Lane Kiffin, 52 games. 123 tackles, 17.5 TFLs, 5.5 sacks. Okay. An interception as well. 3 batted passes at the line of scrimmage, although Pro Football Focus does give him 4. And 1 forced fumble as well. Wow. So LSU, when you thought the season was here, it was done. There was nothing really more that could be done. LSU just added, we'll do the math here, 184 tackles, 184 total tackles, all right. And then 17.5 plus 9, 26.5 TFLs. And then sack-wise, Xavier Harris with 5.5. Where is his 4 sacks? So 9.5 sacks you just added there. 2 interceptions because crazily both Harris and Junior Tuihalamaka both had picks. 4 batted passes, 1 forced fumble, 6 batted passes, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries. Okay. This is the type of production. I'm just going to post it right now on the screen here. This is the kind of production you just added. Okay? This is the type of production you just added from just these 2 defensive tackles. Or sorry, these 2 different defensive linemen that you just added. 184 total tackles, 26 and a half TFLs, 9.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 6 batted passes, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 forced fumble. You just added that to your roster. You just added that to your roster. But when everyone usually thinks that, oh, no more, this is done. This is done between, we're done. We have no more guys that we can add. This is the roster that we've got. Make what we make, do with what we got. All that type of stuff you've always heard. Well, look at that. 184 total tackles, 26.5 TFLs, 9.5 sacks, 2 picks, 6 batted passes. That's 8 different passes that were disrupted at the line of scrimmage, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 forced fumble. So you got 5 total turnovers produced, 26.5 finished plays in the backfield. And then you add the 9.5 sacks, you're over 30. And 184 total career tackles. Not to mention, when you get Daquan Wright added to the situation, 639 receiving yards, 5 touchdown catches. 635, 39 receptions, 5 touchdown catches. And you've got guys who've played in, Tui Halamaka played a national championship game just a year ago. And then you've got Harris and Wright, who just played all the way up into a semifinal game. So you've got true college football playoff veteran experience coming onto your roster here. Mike Prima says, what's up, Lon? Is LSU playoff bound this season? Dude, if they're not, everyone should be fired. Legitimately. If LSU do not make a playoff with this roster, they should be fired. Everyone should go. That's kind of my 2 cents there. Everyone should be fired if that is the case. I mean, it's not a question of whether we should be a playoff team anymore, Mike. This is a question of how deep can LSU go in the playoffs itself? Can LSU compete for a national championship in year 1 under Lane Kiffin? That is the discussion we should be having right now, Mike. Thank you for the comment, my brother. Thank you for watching as well. I just have to say that we are past. We are way past the. Do you think we could do this? Do you think we might be able to do that? We are to the point of possibilities are being endless right now. You're feeling really good about LSU. And not only that, you love to see the melt from Ole Miss fans because we're bringing in 2 of their former players. And these guys are supposed to be in the NFL. What the hell is going on? How come these guys are literally able to somehow jump ship and go to Lane Kiffin's squad? What the hell is going on here? Well, if anyone should have been alive to that possibility and ready for that possibility to jump up and snatch those guys, it should have been Ole Miss. So Ole Miss has no one to cry about, nothing to cry about, no one to blame but themselves. Honest to God, this is getting embarrassing for them to literally be crying and moaning about this too. Because, you should have been on to this. Where the hell were you? These are your former players. If you felt like there was a possibility that maybe, just maybe, these guys could come back for one more season as members of that 2022 class, you should have been ready and you should have been right there in line to get them. And the fact that Lane Kiffin should eat you up. It should eat you up. But you know what? You have no one to blame but yourself. You have no one to get mad at but yourself. We know the hate is there. We know the hate's coming. Bring it the fuck on and keep it coming. We don't give a damn anymore. LSU are the most hated team in college football. LSU versus the world is a reality. While you see Texas, Ohio State, South Carolina, all these different programs dipping their toes in this water. They're going to do this, and yet LSU is the only school getting shit on for doing this. It makes you really wonder. And then Lane Kiffin said it very beautifully, I think, very appropriately. He said, what am I supposed to do? Watch, some other program sign 3 players that I would rather them play for me? They're going to go play somewhere else. These kids would literally have been cheated out of an entire year of college football, an entire year of NFL football potentially, by getting released or undrafted free agents that are being released or waived, and just no future. Just no future for you, no season for you. It could literally cause irreparable harm to their careers. It's a life-changing thing getting that year of eligibility for some of these guys, especially when you're taking that year of eligibility and you're going to a place like LSU and you're playing in an offense like this offense with Charlie Weiss Jr. calling the plays, with Lane Kiffin, with Joe Cox. This is a dynamic offense that everyone's going to want to be a part of. Daquan Wright made sure of that. As for the defense, who wouldn't want to play in this Blake Baker defense? Who wouldn't want to do that? Honestly, a fool. Only a fool wouldn't want to play in this defense. This is going to be a top 15, top 25 defense, like book it. But now you add these guys in the exact positions of need that we absolutely needed to bulk up. I still want to bring on Jack Pyburn. I feel like we still need another edge guy, even though we got Junior from Notre Dame. I still feel like we need more oomph off that edge, more proven off that edge. But getting Junior Tuihalamaka in a time when no one could have even conceived of that being a possibility. And then you damn well make sure that you get Xavion Harris when everyone said he hates Kiffin. There's no way with what he said about Kiffin that he's coming to LSU. No way. We heard that a billion times, that there was no way this guy was coming to LSU. Even if he was granted that extra year of eligibility, there was just no way, right? Just no way it was going to happen. Couldn't happen. Well, I think we all hate the way that college football in general is right now. I think we all are have a lot of distaste for how out of control, straight up reckless, insane the calendar is, the whole setup is for college football. That this should have been expected. I'm sorry. I know we can't predict the future and see ahead in a crystal ball. I get that, but how could they have not predicted that when they made this rule, the 5-5 rule, right? Great rule. I agree with it. I agree with it. Great rule. But when you absolutely screwed the 2022 class out of it directly, how did you not mentally prepare for lawsuits? And a lot of them. Because here's the thing. Lawsuits are still being heard across the country right now as we speak for other guys to get onto rosters. The clock is ticking. Guys want to play this season, or else they're going to lose not only a lot of money NIL-wise, they might lose complete control of their careers, certain guys, if they don't play this season. Not everybody is Jamar Chase, where you can just opt out, not play a season, and be, still a top 5, top 6 pick in the NFL draft, score a touchdown in the Super Bowl as a rookie, and all is fine. Set all these records. Not everybody is a just born freak right out of the lab. and you take away a season from even the best of athletes I've gotten to know. It is a huge detriment when you do that. A huge detriment when you do that. And so I don't blame any of these kids. I'm so sick of seeing these narratives of the old school college football fans saying, I hate this. This is so disgusting. This is a disgrace. This is not college football. This is a blah, 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 blah. I get it. I get it. But you're going after and angry with the wrong people here. You're angry at kids who were screwed by the adults in the room. And so when the kids get screwed by the adults in the room, by their decision making, are you still going to blame the kids here? Or are you going to blame the adults finally? Are the adults going to have to actually finally take responsibility for the terrible decisions they've made? I'm talking about the NCAA. We've been going on and on about this for a while here, where we said college football is broken. You're right. And it has nothing to do with these kids, and has nothing to do with these lawyers, has nothing to do with these activist judges banging the gavel, has nothing to do with all these guys who are paid off in the system, the handlers, the agents, all of it. It has nothing to do with the hypocritical coaches either, who, how dare this school do that? And then in the background, hey, do we have that guy's number? Can we text him? Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's tamper. Hey, how dare they tamper with my players? Hey, let's go steal that guy. Like, this is at the feet of the NCAA. All of this insanity, all of this madness, all of this complete dysfunction is at the feet of the NCAA. When everything was legal in 2021, July 1st, 2021, when NIL was made legal, what happened on that day? Amateurism died, right? It didn't have to, and it didn't have to so quick. It didn't have to accelerate this quickly. You can blame the NCAA for the acceleration of the death of amateurism. Do you know why? No caps on how much a player is paid. So suddenly, nowadays, you're paying $4 to $5 million for a backup quarterback. You're paying $4 million for a star left tackle like Jordan Seaton. You even had people questioning whether LSU or University of Washington or whoever should pay over $10 million for Damon Williams. $10 million. The escalation, the acceleration of the death of amateurism, or at least college football as we knew it, that's not on these kids. These kids can only do what is and adjust to what's in front of them. The parameters set up by the NCAA, and it's been a complete lawless mess, a Wild West mess. Ripe for people to take advantage of. And Lane Kiffin is the king of finding loopholes. Like every great coach, they're gonna bend the rules as far as they can until, hey, whoa, you're breaking the rules. Okay, get back, go back. Stretch that rubber band. Are we breaking the rules? Are we breaking it? Are we breaking it? Oh, actually, no, we can keep going. A little more wiggle room here. We just got the rules changed. We just changed the rules simply by breaking them, simply by testing the waters. And when you see that happen, you understand that you're dealing with a weak authority. The weak authority is the NCAA. They don't even exist. Right now, if the NCAA said, we're going to suspend Lane Kiffin for an entire college football season, and they actually had a good reason to, if I was LSU, I would say, come get us. Come get us. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? That the championship we're going to win should be stripped or whatever? Like that's going to mean anything? When the NCAA doesn't even exist in 10 years from now, 5 years from now? I'm just stunned and I'm frankly blown away, not only that LSU have been able to make this all happen, get these 3 guys in short order, but how astute these pickups are. I mean, tight end was a position everyone thought we were fine with, right? But you only have 2 guys there, Trades, and he's not really a tight end, and then you got Malachi Thomas, more traditional tight end, but still a great pass catcher. You needed another more traditional inline tight end super stud. And people are, we're fine. We're fine. No, we're not. If you want to win a championship, you need to load up. And if you have a chance to keep loading up on players all the way to this point, why wouldn't you do it? Give me one reason why you wouldn't keep loading up on players all the way up here if you could. Especially guys who've been practicing against NFL players the last couple of months. I mean, the whole thing is just gross in that way. I will completely submit to that because I don't like this. I don't like that this is happening. This will be looked back on as historic, as wild, unforeseen, but also that it should never have happened. And the fact that it did happen, that could have ramifications we don't even understand right now. This could, in the future, severely, and I mean severely, affect how college football and the NFL interact between each other. It can affect really how teams write up the NIL deals. Hey, if you get an extra year of eligibility, who knows? NFL contracts will include this too. Hey, we like you. If you get an extra year of eligibility and a bigger NIL offer contract wise than your rookie contract, you still can't go by signing this contract. We're going to make sure that you can't go anywhere. Now you have NFL teams who didn't even think of that, didn't even think that was a possibility, are now having to actually put language in contracts to prevent this from happening again. I was talking to an NFL GM friend of mine who, this guy, just like me, he started off kind of lower on the totem pole and has just kind of climbed his way, and he's been a meteoric riser. He was at LSU for a bit. But he said that this is literally one of the most historic and wildest weeks that he's ever encountered in football, just football in general, because never before have we seen the NFL and college football interact in this way, affect each other in this way. It used to be, once you're done, you're done. And then nothing that happened in college could really affect you in the NFL outside of some sex tape comes out and you're about to go into the NFL draft or something, or you attack your girlfriend and you're about to go into the NFL draft, and that happened while you were in college. Then that can affect you and your draft grade and where you're picked and who wants to deal with you and all of that. Or if the NFL even wants you, all that will be affected. Now, this is going to affect things in ways we don't even anticipate. We can't even really foresee. Who could have foreseen even 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the idea of a guy like Trinidad Chambliss playing his 5th season? Really, playing up to that first round, early second round pick level as a quarterback. And really taking Ole Miss to heights they could only have wet dreamed about at a KKK rally long ago. And instead, you just get a 6th year because someone should have given you a medical red shirt before. Because someone should have. I understand. Maybe it was fair and he should have gotten that. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that we are literally getting to this point where everyone understands how much money you can make in college now. And now you have players, agents, their families, everyone fighting tooth and lawyers fighting tooth and nail to keep them at college for another season, for just one more season. And you know why? So much money riding. So much money riding on it. You could live for the rest of your life off of the money you make from just 1 year of college with NIL if you invest it correctly, if you plan it out smart. Maybe if you don't have kids for a while. Trust me, I know how much that can cost. I just don't blame these kids. I just don't blame these agents. I just don't blame these lawyers. I just don't blame these handlers. All these people are going to be lining up to get their take from these kids. And that's another thing the NCAA has set up and allowed to happen. They've allowed that entire environment that they so despise to literally be created out of nowhere. I witnessed it be created before my eyes. Handlers go from like these kind of illegal under the table, greasy, grimy, slimy type of people into being like the gateway, the gatekeeper to talk to that player. You would have to get through them to talk to that player. That's a new phenomenon. I'm just blown away by what we've seen here. And LSU just get better. They just get better here with these pickups. And that's the thing that really I care about mostly here. If LSU are going to get the shots taken at them, if LSU are going to get all the hate from across the country, if LSU are going to get completely shit on, at least get something out of it. I can take the hate. I can take the crap. Like, we don't care, LSU fans. We don't care. But let's improve this team. Let's get this team even better. Let's don't settle for anything here. And I love that Lane Kiffin is just keep going, just keep building this team. He was not happy with the defensive back, the secondary depth, and so he even had Corey Raymond sign a guy from Georgia Military Academy just to shore that up, just a little bit, just as much as he possibly could. Okay. Now you have rumors that LSU are about to pursue another corner who was just granted eligibility. We're going to be breaking that story. We're not going to give that story away to anybody. So there's another corner that is likely about to sign for LSU. That agreement's already in place. A few dominoes have to drop before then. LSU add 2 defensive linemen at very key spots, defensive tackle and edge rusher. You add an inline tight end that Kiffin said he didn't like the offensive line blocking scheme, the depth at offensive line, all this stuff. Like he felt like the depth at offensive line wasn't adequate. And now he adds a guy that knows exactly the intangibles of what he and Charlie Weiss Jr. expect along that offensive front, blocking-wise. And a guy who can catch a big touchdown if you need it in a college football playoff semifinal against a great defense, because he did it last year against Miami. 39 catches, 635 yards, 5 catching touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. That's incredible from Daquan Wright. And very, very, very little said about him. So you have these guys who've had great careers, but not legendary, not iconic, not first round, second round, third round material. These guys were undrafted, obviously. This is that extra opportunity to potentially get into that area where Daquan Wright can solidify his draft status, where a guy like Xavier Harris can just beef up his resume even more, where a guy like Junior Tuihalamaka can really raise the stakes. And I mean, each one of these guys just made a decision that is going to earn them millions. They all could have been in a really bad spot here if they didn't make the right move here. They chose LSU. That is going to bode very well for all 3 of these guys. Keith Simpson, 4060. What's up, Keith? How you doing, brother? He says, LSU isn't the only team doing this, but because it's the Lane train, these cucks, these cucks are crying like the beta clowns they truly are. Yep, yep. You know, I gotta say, these Ole Miss fans are embarrassing. Everything, like, really, the only things they can say back to LSU is like racism, misogyny, or mocking Kyron Lacey's suicide. That's their three options. That's their three options. Disgusting fan base, man. Disgusting fan base. I have no respect for any of those people. I didn't really understand how big of a deal it was. I didn't really understand how nasty Ole Miss fans can be until we've seen them in action. Any other comments? Any other thoughts from anybody? Because we got a lot of people watching on different. We got a ton of you watching on different places. We usually don't look at the counters, but we're trying to look at how many people are watching right now. And my God, there's a lot of you. Throw in your thoughts right now. We want to hear them. Every comment will be read out here. And I love that you called them cuckolds, because that's really what this is all about. They're literal cuckolds, these guys. I got to be honest, Xavier Harris's name is so weird. Is that Z or how does that even? ZX. Okay, ZX, not XZ. ZX. I'm going to post this link out real quick. You know, LSU has become hated by the entire college football world. Even Paul Feinbaum, even all these people, like, even as these coaches and programs that they defend do the same garbage. They only go after LSU. It's very interesting. I wonder why they do that. Keith Simpson says, how do you think the rest of the locker room is receiving this? That's another thing, too, that I think we need to take more seriously. I think that's really what matters more than any, fan or however who else other programs see this. We've really been focusing on that, but we haven't been focusing on what you just said, and I think that's a very interesting thing. I don't have to think about this. I know. I've spoken to multiple, probably about. Let me look at my phone here. We can just get this right from here. How many people did I talk to about this? Okay, I'd say probably about 50-50. I think half of these guys like this, half of these guys don't. And it's just it actually depends on what position you're talking to. If you're talking to a guy who's playing defensive line, like a guy like Dominic McKinley, and he sees Xavier Harris coming through the door, and he just felt like, damn, I just was able to stave off Deuce Gerald's, Rich Anderson, Trenton Henderson, all these guys going for my spot. And I was able to kind of really prove myself through all this shit. And now you bring in Xavier Harris, let's just say there's a few guys who are a little disappointed and angry about that. Let's put it this way. If you are now going to have to compete even more for your spot, it's an annoyance. If it's a spot where it's someone who's going to help you, help the player that I spoke with, then they're going to like it. So you kind of got a mix here. I spoke to a few guys who aren't really affected position wise by these moves, and they say that they can't stand this. That they're going to be welcoming and inviting, and they're on our team now. They're one of us, but they haven't really gone through the same wars as everyone else on that roster has through the summer workouts, the grind of those summer workouts with special trainer Nick Savage, and the brutality of those workouts. They haven't really gone through the gauntlet of spring. They haven't really gone through the brutality of fall camp. And I understand they've been in the NFL, but that's what makes it insane. That's what makes this whole thing insane. And I understand why people are mad. I understand why people are disgusted by this whole thing, because it shouldn't have happened. It should not have happened. But there's only one person, I shouldn't say one person, one entity to blame for all of this. It's not Lane Kiffin, as much as you want to hate him on and shit on him and say whatever. It's not Lane Kiffin. It's not Ryan Day, as much as we don't like him or his pedophile beard. It's not. I was gonna say Dabo, but it's like Dabo doesn't even know. Like, not even part of this conversation. It's not about any of these. Signetti. It's not about any of these guys. These kind of more portal friendly guys. It's not about any of these guys. It's about the NCAA. It's about the sport that they failed to protect. It's about the sport that they allowed to go riding down a hill covered in manure, lit on fire by a deranged and drunken Homer Simpson, and it's just going right into the stack of tires. And suddenly the tire yard is on fire, and that's how it started. That's how it all begun in Springfield. That's how the tire yard lit on fire, and that's how it stayed on fire. The NCAA. The NCAA let this go from just, a few little flames, a little bit of smoke, into a dumpster fire where you have guys not making the final rosters for NFL teams, but playing in NFL preseason games, now jumping ship and going back to the college ranks. Are we living in the upside down? Insanity. Keith Simpson 4060 says these other coaches know the smoke they are about to receive. It's a team. The competition just got definitely interesting. NCAA to blame. Period. Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of fans. I hate this. This is despicable. This is disgraceful. LSU shouldn't be doing this. This is, Braden Fajoko, who I absolutely love him. I absolutely love his family. Braden said that this is some bitch ass shit. LSU shouldn't be doing this. This is bitch ass shit. I'm like, dude, so we should just let other teams get these guys that could help our roster? Just let other teams go get them? Fuck that. We're LSU. Like, seriously, have some balls about you. Have some sack to you. Like, LSU have always been the bad boys. LSU have always been willing to push the boundaries. LSU have always been willing to break the rules, to cross the line, to push the envelope. And that's why people hate LSU. That's why it is LSU versus the world. That's why, as my I shouldn't say my buddy because I don't think this guy likes me, but as Jared, what's his name? I can't remember this guy's name, but as that dude said, Louisiana versus all y'all. You know, that's copyright, TM, trademark. Don't sue me. Don't sue me. But yeah, guys, I'm just this is crazy. This is historic. This is wild. This is LSU getting bigger on the roster, getting better on the roster. And if you thought September 19th at Ole Miss already had enough storylines, already had enough, wild, crazy, all this madness going on from one corner of the story to the other, from Kiffin to the former assistant coaches who've joined, from our former assistant coaches who went to their team, from their former players that we poached, to now some former players that were almost in the NFL, two of them who've now come and jumped ship. LSU Odyssey wrote about this a few days ago, okay? Let me go to it. I want to show you because I don't want to just tell you we did something. I want to show you. And by the way, everyone, thank you so much. The site has been booming lately. Absolutely on fire. And I really want to thank all of you guys for that. Always check out LSUODYSSEY.com. We put a lot of work into this stuff. And here's the thing. There's so many times people see a post of ours, they like it, they retweet it, but then they ask me a question about it. And I'm usually like, bro, that question is actually answered in like the first paragraph of that article. And so I can tell some people sometimes aren't reading the stuff. They're just kind of like, oh, I think I understand it from your headline. No, like we really work hard to put information you want to know inside the actual damn articles. Hey, babe. Here we go. We're going to put this on the screen right here. When news came out that Jack Pyburn could be one of those guys on that list, and we broke that story, if you look very carefully at the very end of this article, we put a trio of former Ole Miss starters under Lane Kiffin, Daquan Wright, Xavion Harris, and Wydett Williams are also involved in this lawsuit and now eligible, and LSU Odyssey will monitor their situations. We told you on our last LSU Odyssey Live that Daquan Wright would absolutely become a Tiger. 100%. Xavion Harris, Hayes Fawcett broke that news. We weren't able to break that news. Hayes Fawcett broke that story. We're always going to give credit where it's due, whether we like the person or not. Like we're not like other people where if we don't like somebody or gatekeeping, or if they don't have enough followers, or if they're not kissing my ass enough, we're not going to credit them. No, if someone else broke the story, we are going to credit them. Hayes Fawcett broke this story with Xavion Harris. So yeah, LSU got better today. Keith says, just discovered your channel. I'm subscribed and locked in. I'm here. Let's enjoy this ride. Well, Keith, brother, let me show you something here, man. I think this is going to get you hyped as hell. Let me show you something, because I needed to show this at the first, but I failed to do that. I'm going to do a little intro here. My buddy CJ Vavasour, if you guys don't know him, you need to. CJ Vavasour is an absolute badass. This guy makes these crazy hype videos, okay? And he's been doing it for a long time, but he actually was really unbelievable and asked me to narrate his 2026 LSU Clemson hype video. He actually asked me to narrate this damn thing. I was stunned, Keith. And honored. It's always something I've loved. It's always something I wanted to do. I didn't really think I could do it or have the ability to do it, but Here we are. And Keith, my apologies. You see this mark on my head? I know it looks weird. I know it looks like our face is all screwed up. We had a really violent assault happen to us a bit ago. So we're going to tell the full story about that in a bit, in our next show or in an article, because I think some people have gotten the wrong ideas of that, and I don't want anyone to have the wrong ideas of any of that. It's just something horrible that happened to me. I survived. I fought the dude off. It was a pretty insane moment. One of those moments that defines your life. And I'm going to use it as fuel to really pursue this dream of mine, to cover LSU football, because I almost got killed working a job I should have never been at. And God does things for certain reasons. But CJ Vavasor asked me to do this hype film, to narrate this hype film, and I was so honored to do it. And it is my pleasure to show all of it to you guys right now. I'm absolutely pumped. I'm going to take myself off the screen, so don't worry if I'm gone or whatever. Just we want this thing to be the.
I'm very honored to be the head coach of LSU. Having watched this place for a long time, having been on the other sidelines, I can sum it up by saying this place is different.
What makes this place so special? The passion, the intensity. It's the best sound in football. And when we go to war, we take no prisoners. Nothing can prepare you for a Saturday night here. What goes around comes around on Saturday. So block out the noise. Silence the doubters. And fight like tigers. Everything we do here is intentional. We play for 4 quarters. And we don't apologize for who we are. Because a true tiger defends its territory. Because in this valley, opponents' dreams come to die.
Second again, the Sean Spears.
The only question now is, are you in? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So proud to be a part of that. CJ Vavasor should be hired by LSU's creative department, because I haven't seen. I'm not trying to rip on anyone. I'm not trying to knock anybody. I really am not trying to be offensive here at all. But what CJ did in that video, and you can watch it and subscribe to it, please, on his channel at Tiger Mania. We'll put his video up there again. His work that he put together, how he put this thing together, man, the editing work that he did, how he was able to get everybody in there. I mean, not only LSU era Kiffin, he's able to get Levitt, he's able to get Malik Elzy, he got everybody in there. To be a part of that just gives me chills. And you can already see there's 85 likes, 2,000 views. This is only barely even 20 hours ago that he's posted this thing. And frankly, I was late on the narration. I was trying to perfect the narration. Some technological things were getting in the way, and I wasn't able to be at my best with that, and that actually delayed it a bit. This thing is going to only continue to get viral and viral and viral, and should be relaunched, in my opinion, because CJ did such an incredible job here, and his work editing has, I mean, we tried to time it with my words and everything. He re-edited some of where the placement of the words were to make maximum impact. He had a vision, and I'm really proud to have been a part of that vision. Really proud to have been a part of this video. Everyone, if you're an LSU fan, please like and subscribe to Tiger Mania. Just look up on YouTube Tiger Mania, or just that channel right there at the bottom of the video. Tiger Mania, only 484 subscribers. That's a crime. Okay, this guy makes some of the sickest hype videos, including this one. We got to get him over 1,000 followers for sure, plus. But man, some of the feedback already from this video has been incredible. You absolutely did that, Lon Phillips Sullivan. If this doesn't fire you up, stick a fork in you. You are done. Unc Randy Jones, LSU super fan. Thank you, brother. Holy smokes, just different. We are ready for Clemson. Great video, and this got me so hyped for the LSU season. Let's freaking go. That's Dakota Chapman, 98. Hermload, a longtime subscriber, LSU Odyssey, says, Lon narrating hype videos is the thing I didn't know I needed most in 2026. Let's fucking go. And then Bruce Boston, another one of our subscribers, says, I know so wild. Heaven, I've never heard of that person. He says, I like the video, but we need a better voice for it. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. I'm going to put, maybe you're right. That's the thing. That's my first narrating job. Maybe it's not good enough. Maybe it's not where as it should be. Maybe I sound too. You want a younger voice. You want an older voice. You want kind of like this Morgan Freeman, but you don't want to overdo it. But I tried to do the best I could. I'm not a narrating voice. I think I write better than I speak. I think that's quite evident if you've been watching this. But at the same time, I wanted to do my best for CJ. If he wanted us to do it and chose us and asked for us, sick. I'm going to do my best that I possibly can. I hope people enjoyed it. You know, it's not everyone's going to like what you do, you know. But everybody, thank you so much for watching. We will be talking very, very soon. Oh, my God. It's Unc Randy, LSU Superfan, right here in the chat. He says, you brought that lawn. What up, bro? How are you doing, my man? He says, what up, Keith and Mikey P? Unc Randy Superfan says, Lon, you smashed that narration. Who wrote that? That's actually CJ who wrote that. CJ was like, dude, mess with it how much you want and all that stuff. Change it here and there. He was kind of, I think, a lack of confidence with his script. And I read the script and I'm like, this is kind of what a hype film should be. And then when you put it to the visuals, he wrote a damn good script, man. I can't take any credit for that. Keith Simpson was hyped by that video. He says, don't need much to get me jacked, sir. This here is, hell of a job. Keith, you are a keeper, brother. Keith, absolutely follow us on Twitter if you have a Twitter. Follow us on Facebook if you have a Facebook. You can follow our stuff anywhere. LSU Odyssey. We're on Instagram, every platform. But LSUODYSSEY.com is where we put everything. It's always there, LSUODYSSEY.com. So, if we do a video, if we do a post, anything like that, we try and make it, one universal hub. But my God, you guys have been so great to me. If you guys want to support what LSU Odyssey does so that we can attend games actually travel, because that's the thing. We have to travel across the country if we want to make games. If we want to cover this team in person, we have to get on a plane to do it. We live in the Rocky Mountains, so we have to get on a plane to do it. That's just the realities. But if you want to support us in that quest to cover this team in person like we should, a lot of you guys seen our interviews with a lot of players, with a lot of family members of players as well. So no shortage of amazing content that could come from that. If you guys want to see that, we also have press credentials too, where we would be at press conferences. We'd be able to get player interviews, all of that stuff firsthand. And if you look on the YouTube channel or on LSUODYSSEY.com, you will see the evidence of my claims there for that. If you want to support us with that, go to LSUODYSSEY.com/subscribe. It's $5 a month, $10 for a year. But absolutely love your support and your passion here today, everybody. And you know what? It's always a great day when we can make Ole Miss fans just absolutely lose their minds and just they hate us so much, and I love it. It's so beautiful. Tiger Mark 225 says, can you please explain to me why in the hello everyone is hating on Lane Kiffin and LSU and other schools are doing this? Shit makes me mad as hell. Well, we talked about this earlier, Tiger Mark, and it's because they wish they were us. They wish they had Kiffin. They wish they were LSU. They wish they had the history that we do. They wish we had, they wish they had Joe Burrow. They wish they had a badass like him. They wish that they had a season like 2019. They wish they had a guy like Tyrann Mathieu play for their programs. And now it's more out of fear that we could be coming back. It's more out of fear that we could have really have been the dynasty Nick Saban should have had over Alabama. Because if you look at the dynasty he built in Alabama, a lot of it was built with Louisiana players. So that was the dynasty that Saban could have had at LSU. So now Lane Kiffin, he's the best candidate since Nick Saban to continue that work, especially when you see what he has done building up that business and financial backing, that financial business alignment behind LSU like we've never seen. A number one portal class, a number one quarterback, a number one left tackle, a number one edge rusher, a number one player of the entire class, number one defensive line overall player, Lamar Brown, in the recruiting aspects of it. You get the greatest recruiting class defensive line-wise of all time as far as ranking for LSU that we've ever had. But it's the three best freshman defensive linemen LSU have had since Jaquelin Roy and Jacobian Guillory and B.J. Ojolari. And guess what? Two of those three guys were injured and didn't really have much of a career at LSU, sadly. A few of those guys have actually turned it on the NFL more than they did at LSU. But this is a very exciting time because Lane Kiffin came in with promises. He came in with saying he's just I'm just gonna do whatever we can to make us a contender. I'm gonna do whatever we can to take LSU back to where it should be because this place is just different. And he's fulfilled every single one of those things as far as the offseason mandates of strong portal class. Your team needed it to survive. You needed it. You had to rebuild your team. You had to rebuild and flip the offensive roster. You had to damn sure make sure that you could keep Blake Baker. Hell, Jake Olson turned down the NFL to come to LSU. Lane Kiffin is making not only assistants turn down the NFL or come from the NFL to coach for LSU, he's making players turn down the NFL because they'd rather play for LSU. That's what that's what's got us so excited. And that's, Mark, what has them so jealous and angry. That's what it is, Mark. Everybody, thank you for watching. Uncle Randy, I freaking love you, man. Seriously, Randy Jones, comment more, be visible more. Tell me what you are on Twitter. Like, reach out to me directly because I got to add you to the groups. If you guys want to be in our Twitter groups all throughout the season as well, very private Twitter groups, only like 50, 60 people, ask me, and I'm 100% will bring you into the groups because if you guys are supporting us here, We want you in there. You're good people. You're good Tiger fans. You'll call me on my shit when you think I'm wrong. You'll celebrate with me when you think I'm right. We're all just going to be behind this team, and we just want another championship, baby. Everybody, love you guys. Go Tigers.